So good morning again. Blessed morning to everyone here. Yeah, do turn on your videos if you feel inspired to. It'll be nice to see all of you, all of your cheerful faces. And so today's topic is faith is my armor. And also by the same title, there's also a book written by Nayaswami Devi ji, which is about the life of Kriyananda ji. So I'll just read a line from there and take the topic in more general direction. So Swami Kriyananda ji also, like every saint also, I think it's a Leela. Many times all these masters also go through all these challenges in their lifetime. I think to show the disciples how to face them. And also to show how God's presence and God's energy flowing through us can solve anything. So once, after Swamiji had passed through a difficult period of testing, Deviji said to Swami Kriyanandaji, I don't know if I would have the strength to endure what you have had to go through in this lifetime. I don't know if I would have had the strength to endure what all you had to go through in this lifetime. Deviji is telling to Swami Kriyanandaji. And he replies, I did not know that I had the strength. He quietly replied, and then added with a deep conviction, but faith is my armor. And such has been the life of Swami Kriyananda. Faith is my armor. And very apt title for the book, because his life was example of that. And now we all are from different parts of the globe. We all are here together, and we all know that how important the spiritual path has been for us. We all have taken all this journey. Even you can remember just reminiscing your steps coming to the spiritual path when your friend or you found the book Autobiography of Yogi, or someone told you about the spiritual path or brought you to this class. And even first time you entered, you was in this environment, you felt like, okay, whenever you find your spiritual path, you feel like, okay, I'm back home, or I know these people. How do I become like them? What do they do? And it's like in Ananda, I think Swami Kriyananda ji used to, at Ananda village, there's a community in US. I think you all might have heard of it. It's a lot of big land in which a lot of families, about maybe 100, 150 people are living together, serving there. They all meditate in the mornings, evenings. They're all in the spiritually uplifted environment, because environment is stronger than willpower. Like this satsang, they all together have been doing this for many years. And there have been some people, about 50 years, the Ananda anniversary happened in 2019. So think of all those people who have been there for such long time. And just going there in their midst, you feel it. So yeah, I would highly recommend, if you all have this opportunity, to keep that in your plan someday, to also go there, and India also, to inspire ourselves to be in such sort of communities, because it will really help everyone to grow spiritually when you're along with this like-minded souls who are also following the same spiritual path. And I'll just go some examples also, and also touch on why faith, what is faith and what is belief. So all of you, I don't know how many of you remember in Autobiography of Yogi, the chapter of two penniless boys in Vrindavan. Do you all remember it? Okay. So how his brother Ananta put him to a test one day evening. He said to him, I'm not going to give you money except these 2 tickets. Go. And if you can come back, then I'll become your disciple. So Ananta used to always tease him, because he did not feel this was logically correct what Yogananda ji used to do. Mukunda, the young Mukunda, then he and his friend take up this challenge. His friend is a little nervous. His faith is, he was still having belief, so his faith was little still shaking. So he was like, okay, maybe Ananta, give us some rupees, maybe we'll call you if needed for help. And Yogananda ji strongly says, friend, if you take that money, I'm not going on this trip. To just exclaim that the faith is so much strong and important, and you have to be completely dive in. So also, I think Devashiji shared this. I'll come back to the story, but Devashiji shared, I think it was Jayaji shared, once in Badrinath, there is this hot spring, and he saw some few people get into it, just sit down on their knees, keep their one leg in, one more leg in, slowly feel out, and slowly get into the pool. And there was the sadhu who just came, who just dived right into the pool and came right out. So whenever we are on the spiritual path, we all have to give our 100%, like go like this horsepower. Like Yogananda ji used to like people with horsepower, like strong energy. He was also a strong leader, and he was Arjuna, William the Conqueror. So you know how much strength he had. But he wanted all his disciples also, because he attracted such disciples in a way. When we look around, all are like strong-minded, willpower devotees and disciples of God he attracted. And he's taking us all back in the ship, back to home to God. But we all have to do our effort. We all have to get into the ship. We all have to make sure the ship goes, and we all have to listen to him, be in tune with him. Now, coming back to the story, the two penniless boys, and then they go on this train journey. And as you all know, they get like one of the best meals he ever had. They get treated to it, because there was this woman who had made this for royal princess, but the princess did not come, and Yogananda ji and his friend were the guests there. And after having the food, and now they are in the next episode of just staying there under a tree. Around that time, I think this is when his friend of Yoga Mukunda, Yogananda ji's friend, they're all these small boys, and this friend says, I know it feels like the meal was somehow a coincidence. Mukunda, now what shall we do? What about my food, and how will we get home? And he gets this doubt. And Mukunda, again, in a strong, I think he gives him a pinch, I think, on his stomach, but also he strongly tells him, like, how you forget God so easily. Just even it was very recently, just like few hours back, when he treated us to this meal and with his grace and blessings, and so quickly we forget it. I think in a way he was telling to all of us how our faith is moved anytime we hear something else, and some newspaper thing comes up, or somebody starts doing this negative energy or negative comments, how our faith gets moved. Because in the same way, we just have to keep strong, and it will get developed over the years. We don't have to force it, but also we have to be, once you are knowing that this is your spiritual path, you have to give your all and stick with it. Otherwise it will be like window shopping, like going from this thing to this thing, and you'll have the same questions to every path, and they'll be telling you the same answers. And if we don't stick with it, and if we don't give our whole heart to it, we'll all be here. We'll all not proceed or not progress further on the spiritual path. And that day evening, what happens in the story? Mukunda and his friend comes back, because again, there's one more incident that happens where this person just walks to them, and he tells to Mukunda, young Mukunda, that I had a dream in which you are there, you are my guru. And he receives the Kriya Yoga technique, and he buys him some sweets, some tickets back to his place where Ananta was staying near Agra. So this was just one example. I think Autobiography of Yogi is filled with these examples. And even Swami Kriyanandaji's life is filled with many such examples. And Kriyanandaji also, you were sharing this, that Kriyanandaji also said many times, this whole Ananda was a miracle. And there was many times when the right people came in at the right time. Even if that one person had come before or after, it would not have happened. Ananda would not have existed in a way. So God sends his angels, sends his devotees, whoever wants to help at the right time. So we are also seeing that with the monastery project. I don't know if many of you know that many of all the monks used to stay near Pune, Kandala. And then with the inspiration of Devashji, we all moved to Chandigarh. Now we are in Panchkula. We started looking for land. It has been about 2 years. And since we bought it, like then finally the God and Guru somehow showed us in Haryana, this particular place near Panchkula. And then the land was purchased. And again, right time, right people entered in, they guided us. Okay, this is what you need to do, cover crop now to get the soil fertile. And also, how do you apply for a change in land use or government permission? How do you get it? Right time, right people come in, right suggestions. And even when we go to the offices sometimes to get these permissions, the right time, even though there are challenges, it's not like we don't have challenges, but God gives us the strength. We also have to put out that energy, but He gives us the strength. And right time, right person comes and He gives the right suggestion. And we just know, okay, now if we just do this happens. So each and every day, I think for all disciples, I'm just telling you all, I think in your own lives, when you're meditating daily, and when you're taking God and Guru's presence in your day, you all have seen, it feels like I'm also preaching to choir here, because you all have seen in your own lives, when you're in tune, all the things start falling in place. Even if you don't feel devotion, you still call out, Guru, I need you. Even on the restless day in meditation, what do we do? Like Haridas ji, I've heard him say, call out to Guru, say, it's enough, come to me. Why are you waiting? Even on that restless time in meditation, then that joy and bliss takes over. Even when Yogananda ji got his samadhi experience, I don't know how many of you remember, Yukteswar ji called out to him, come Mukunda, I know how like wind, the leaves in a wind, your mind is wandering, come out here. And then he taps on his chest or heart, and then he gets this samadhi experience. So in the same way, even don't think, okay, I'm not done this, not done that. Keep doing your best. Tell to Guru, be honest. And then all the things will start falling in place, even the trivial things. Like, because many of the times, the most important decisions are not like every second you make, but there are all the trivial things where you can just carry his joy and keep doing it. You don't have to like get more obsessed in your mind, like, okay, do I eat this, do I wear this tie? But also in being in that joy after meditation, just try to continue to be in that state and take this into all these small things. And like Kriyananda ji also, uh, there was this Hansa temple. If you all go to Ananda village, you'll see it has this swooping, this thing, sort of thing roof. And Swami Kriyanandaji came up with this inspiration, but the architects built the building, and they were this particular roof, which almost goes like this, soaring up to the sky, sort of thing. But also, it's also like not even straight; it goes curves like this. So they did not know how to do it, but they went till that point. They put out that energy. They went till that point, and one day a car pulls up in Ananda village, and this person just asks them, "What are you doing?" They tell, we have come up with this building, this is the inspiration to do this, but we don't know how to do. And he says, I don't know how I got the inspiration to come here, this is the first time I'm coming here, but also I might be the only person in this region, entire region, who knows how to do it. And he tells them how to do it. So just think how God and gurus are there holding our hands. Like Lahari Mahasaya ji, when he met Babaji, Babaji said, I've looked over you, I've waited for this moment, have seen you as you were in this astral world, then coming back, this young child meditating on the Nadiya science. How blessed we all are to just feel this presence of the gurus and masters. And I think just take a moment, just think of all the things. I think we take many things for granted, so many things for granted. But just think of, maybe just close your eyes, just think of a moment of the things that came on the path, or God really helped you when you were in so much trouble, or just when you called out to him. It could be a simple thing. Just think of that one particular moment, just feeling that joy in your heart. Yeah, it's so, yeah, so many things have happened. If we just try to count it, I think every day so many things happen. Like Kriyananda ji was in SRF when this happened. I think he liked the Swiss chocolate. He was writing to his parents a letter, and I think he forgot to mention about this. He wanted this for his birthday, but he forgot to mention it. And then he said, "Okay, anyway, I've forgotten. Let me forget it." And then what happens is, on his birthday, this person, a devotee, just walks and says, I was walking through this street, the store, and when I saw this particular chocolate, I felt like somehow to get it for you. And so here it is. And this person even did not know it was his birthday. And Swamiji just had joy in his heart receiving this. This is how even in little of details, when Divine Mother or God just takes care of these small details and becomes faith, and the faith starts developing. Like, what is faith? Faith is this complete trust. But how do we develop it? Yeah, because it can be belief in the beginning, like we believe something. But then over the time, as we keep meditating, as you keep seeing all these things happen around you, and you just know it can't be coincidence. First time it happens, okay, it's a coincidence. Second time it happens, it's a coincidence. Third time, coincidence. What about the X time or N time when it happens? You're like, okay, wait, there's something more here. It can't be just a coincidence now. God and Guru are helping us so much. And then you realize, then it becomes faith. And then just the things happening around you will inspire others. They'll just start seeing there is something happening. Because even Yogananda ji, for example, in the little of details, the things worked out for him. Like in the sense master examples are, for example, there was this couple who wanted to take an interview with Yogananda ji. Okay, they were asking him and speaking with him. They asked him, okay, when can we come? And can we come on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And Yogananda ji said, why don't you come on Thursday? And then they suddenly changed their mind and just said, oh no, Thursday we are busy. Can we come on Friday? And Yogananda ji said, yeah, you can come. And then what happens? The Thursday, in the day he had pointed out, was a very pleasant day. The weather was very pleasant, but they did not come. But they came. They tried to come on Friday, but the weather was so harsh. It was pouring rain, and they could not even make the appointment. So sometimes even all these saints and masters, they don't tell it like, I am proclaiming that it's going to rain on that day. So come on Thursday. It's not going to be that. Even Yukteswarji gently used to tell something. For example, his house was not, his ashram was not in the best of conditions. And Yogananda ji said, shall I just try to improve it, or shall I just try to put in the new carpets, everything? And Yukteswar ji slightly chided him. Your world is out there. You have to organize it. My world is just this tiger skin or the meditation mat. Everything else is fine. And there was also this one tile on the roof, which was always like slightly, almost like ready to fall. Every time people used to just go very quickly during that area so that it doesn't fall on them. And Yukteswarji said to them, don't worry, it won't fall till I am alive. And on the day he left his body, that tile falls down. It was not like again Yukteswarji said, okay, the tile will not fall down. It's like all these saints, just in the words, somehow they're in tune, and the words they speak, the things will happen. But we just have to be subtle. We have to listen. We can't bring in our own desires and then ask for, okay, I want this particular this thing. But you also have to give him the opportunity. Okay, God, let thy will be done. Whatever you think is the best, also let it happen. Don't be strong sometimes with these particular things, because he knows what to give is best. But we can surely ask, like our mother or father, we can ask to Divine Mother, okay, can you please give this if you think this is the right thing for me? And you'll start seeing the things will start happening. And even though you can plan some things, when the divine plan happens, it's so much more beautiful. Like they say, reality is stranger than fiction. It's true in the case of saints. It's so much more happier, so much better. I think you all are seeing after coming on the path how the lives is just getting better and better. Yeah. And okay, we are almost close to the time. So also take this opportunity and this maybe today, just as you go through, just try to be grateful for that presence and try to be aware of all the things that happen around you with God and Guru's presence. And so you can take this faith and just try to strengthen it by also by being in tune, by listening more to Master and Swamiji's words, somehow to keep that right company. Do all your effort, because Master Yogananda ji said, even if you do 1/100th of what I say, you'll get there. Is that not a such a thing? 1/100, but we have to do all what we can do to make that 1/100th of a thing. And again, thank you all for being here, because all of you, this satsang, whatever, even little time we all spend together and we offer ourselves completely to God. Yeah, it just helps everyone here. And now one more important part is we have to share these blessings with everyone in the world. So why don't we all just close our eyes, again feeling the God and Gurus in our hearts at the spiritual eye, and bringing to mind our closed ones and others who have requested for healing. Also the situations in the world, the war, the people there, protests, or people suffering due to floods in North India, Himachal, Delhi. Expand your compassion, your heart to involve everyone on this planet. All are children of God, and when we meditate and when we feel that presence, we feel we are one with the God, and with that same love of God, we will share now with all the fellow beings or Guru Bhais. And let's pray together. Divine Mother, thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all thy children. Manifest thy healing presence in all bodies, in all minds, in all souls. Feel God and Guru's power, being channels for them. Rubbing our hands, we'll chant Om 3 times, feeling their presence, filling this entire planet with peace, harmony, joy, and upliftment. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Blessed Sunday for everyone. And yeah, take this joy, go out with joy and share this joy with everyone and be in that joy.